welcome to the channel. Welcome to Banter in the Box, episode 92. It is a transfer frenzy as the cost of transfers reduced from 10 points to 5 points on New Year's Day. No less than 8 managers took advantage of that reduction to make transfers this week. And those 8 managers made 15 transfers in total, playing a combined 6 tactical gambits of various descriptions. There was a few Oy's mines, a couple of mutiny on the bounties, and one manager playing a wild card tactical gambit in order to make multiple transfers in a single week. In this week's edition of Banter in the Box, we have your game week 16 winners and losers and a manager of the season update. A double game week in the Premier League this week, and surprisingly scores not as high as you'd expect from a double game week. Your game week 16 winners. Not a lot of movement at the top of the table, but loads of movement in the bottom half of the table. Take a bow. Thames Ironwork FC manager Darren Ravel. He climbed 2 places up to 20th. Not a great season by Darren's high standards, but 20th is the highest that Darren's been and since game week 3. Take a bow also. Ted and Sam Junior's manager Ian Sands, another one who had a disappointing season by his high standards, but he climbed a place to 19th in the table, and that's a season high for Ian. You have to go back to the 28th of May for the last time he was as high as 19th in the table. Take a bow also, Mops Hopsby. I've got a life manager climbing a place to 18th, and that is also a season high for Mops. 28th of May, the last time she was as high as 18th in the table. But the biggest game week 16 winner, Take a bow, Poppy's players manager Sarah Simon stayed second, but got a second weekly win of the season, closing the gap on the league leaders Antonio Conte's Barmy to just 10 points. Could Sarah Simons become the first woman to win the Family Fantasy Football League for over 20 years? Well, you never know. You never know. And she got that second weekly win of the season with 70 points. Tyler Bounds, Sweet Foden Line, also scored 70 points, but Sarah got the weekly win by virtue of scoring more goals than Tyler. They are your game week 16 winners, 1 manager of the season point to all of them. And your game week 16 losers, hide your head in shame. Lyndon's Lovely's manager Joe Hoxby dropped another place down to second from bottom in the table. You have to go back to game week 3 when she was bottom, for a time when Lyndon's Lovelies were as low as 31st in the table. Hide your head in shame. Also, debut manager Dial Square FC Mark Collier dropped a place to 27th. This is debut season, but that's the lowest he's ever been in the Family Fantasy Football League. Don't feel bad, Mark. Debut managers normally struggle in their first season. Antonio Conte's Barmy Army proving an exception to that rule this year. Hide your head in shame as well. Juan Veron FC manager Luck. Where's the K Williams? Fell 3 places, the biggest fallers this week, down to 21st. This is Luck's second season in the Family Fantasy Football League. 21st is the lowest he's ever been in the Family Fantasy Football League table. And your biggest game week 16 loser, hide your head in shame, Clockhouse Rangers manager great Uncle George Moody stayed rooted to the bottom of the table, and he was the lowest scorers in game week 16 with just 14 points. Where they had them, they've lost 1 manager of the season point. And talking about manager of the season, who the fuck is that? Rolled over for a second week last week. 3 managers coming back to have a go this week. Hatch United manager Neil Hatch thought that that was a picture of yours truly, Chairman's Choice. Incorrect guess there, Neil. Sarah on the Buses manager, Sarah Goodwin, thought that that was a picture of No Happy Endings manager Di Maloney. That is an incorrect guess, Sarah. And the Big Knobs manager, Simon Hoxby, desperate to win the manager of the season for the first time ever. He thought it was a picture of Ostrich Bar Stewards manager, Steve Maloney. That is also an incorrect guess, Simon. So here is the manager of the season table. George Moody dropping down to joint 15th for being a game week loser. Sarah Simons cementing her place in 13th for being a game week winner. Joe Hoxby drops to joint 10th for being a game week loser. Mops Hoxby closes the gap on her son Simon to just 6 points after she was a game week winner, but it is still the Big Knobs manager Simon Hoxby out in front at the top of the table. And the Who the Fuck Is That rolls over for a third week and is now worth 3 manager of the season points. That is a picture of a current Family Fantasy Football League manager, and if you can tell me who it is, you'll earn yourself 3 manager of the season points. Remember, each manager is only allowed 1 guess per week. That is your episode 92 of Banter in the Box. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.